What's up, my brother?
Hey, what's up, dude? I'm just calling in really quick. I saw the hair change. You're Super Saiyan now. Let's go, champ.
Yeah, I'm trying to do something different. Doing something different.
I'm a little under the weather because I caught something on the plane ride home from vacation, but I figured I'd call in. Dude, you're trying to make sense out of what I've been worrying. I've been trying to do for the last 44 years. I've been black for 44 years. It don't make any sense, man. All this whataboutisms about, yeah, but white people this and white people that and this, that. It's just in any AA program or anything, like NAAA, you have to admit that there's the problem first before you can get better. And us blacks can't even admit that there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And all the ones of us who do, like myself, my family, and all of my black friends and family who are all successful, we just get out because if you are black and you try to be part of the community, you have to take on this same whataboutism, victimhood, black mentality, and it's just toxic, So this is but then culturally we can't establish a black middle class and upper class. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that I had said this once before. All the Asians that I know that are working class, middle class, upper class, rich, they don't go to the same places that the poor Asians do. White people who are middle class and rich, they don't go to where trailer trash Tammy is. But blacks are the only ones where the worst of us will still, the best and the worst of us will still go to the same places, do the same things, and like sign off on the same types of behavior, And until that changes, you even saw the conversation you were just showing.
Yeah,
they're all supposed to be having a educated conversation. There was still some hood knuckleheaded thinking going on. It's like cutting each other off, yelling, screaming, acting stupid. It's like, why? I don't understand. This is why I usually don't. That panel you were showing earlier, that was from like a podcast or something.
Yeah.
Right? I would never go on one of those podcasts. It's just too dysfunctional. It's just too toxic. I think there's a guy who I followed, Ask a Brother podcast.
Yes.
He was on a panel. I think it was either like Lapeef Let's Talk or Fatty or one of those guys. He was on there for 6 hours and only got to talk like 4 times.
Really?
That's and when he was cooking, he got to cook, but there's just too much dysfunction going on. And until black people, until we can talk to each other like how you and I are talking right now, there's no point. And this is another thing too, is my platform, I've never really had women call in, but at some point it's going to happen. Yours, you will too.
Yeah.
But the issue is like, you will see these panels, these men, and they'll come to an understanding, and you'll always have that one woman on the panel who's that agent of chaos, who always wants to start getting the men to fight against each other. Oh, y'all are just, dick riding each other now, and then all the guys start fighting, and then there's the one guy who yells at her, and then the one guy white knights for her, and it's a mess. It's an absolute mess,
Definitely,
So,
I agree.
But yeah, man, I think that that the whole, look at the UK, right? There's certain men from certain kind of countries where there's lots of sand that are 27 times more likely to essay a woman than an Englishman.
Yeah.
And what do you think that the woke white liberals say? They go, well, more white men essay women. Wait, the majority of essays in the UK are done by white guys. And it's like, well, no, look at the per capita. So that's the same argument that people use with like, there's more white people on food stamps. It's like, well, there are more white people because there's more white people, but the per capita amount of blacks on food food stamps. You know what I'm saying? Or like anytime, like violence or whatever. We're a smaller percentage of the population. Our violence percentages shouldn't be anywhere near white people's. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
So
Agreed.
it's just not productive. It doesn't make any sense. You know?
Exactly. The productive thing is that's what I'm saying. It's moving the goalposts. Why do you care about what's going on with white people? You should be caring what's going on with your community. All right. Who cares if the white people, have high SA rates? Is that affecting your community? No. Right. The drugs or whatever no, you should be caring what's happening in your community, what's affecting your community. And I find it a lot of times with these, the black, what is it? The black podcasters or black panels is that they like to move the goalposts.
Yeah.
They don't want to shame. They don't want to shame their community, which is, I think that's the problem, right? You with Asian people, if they're bad Asian groups, they will shame them.
There's Asian groups, and especially Asian parents and tiger parents have too much shame. They got too much shame going on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I was actually thinking about this the other day, and that we're black people, we stereotype ourselves more than anyone else. So when white people say, "Oh, well, black people don't snowboard," and we're like, "What do you mean black people don't snowboard? You're racist." But then if you're black and you snowboard and you try and ask one of your black friends, like, "We don't do that. I don't do that," and they'll shame you for being a black person who snowboards. Did you know Serena Williams used to skateboard when she was little?
I didn't know that.
She used to be in like Green Day and like alternative music, but then her friends used to tease her for it because they say, "Oh, you listen to white music?" This is back when she was like 11, 12 years old, So coming from a black person that's always been called acting white, black people, we equate acting hood, ghetto, and ratchet being black, but then yell at other people who do the same thing. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
it makes no sense, man. So,
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix it other than just more and more, especially young black men. I honestly think that they actually see young black men can turn it around, but black women are just cooked. I mean, you look at all the fights and a lot of the black fatigue stuff, you honestly see clips. It's usually black women and black girls yelling, screaming, fighting at parks and everything. And whereas a lot of young black men are just not, sticking to themselves. So, but yeah, I'm going to drop off there before I hack up the lung on your live stream. You know what I'm saying?
Hope you feel better, my brother. Where do you what was your vacation? Where did you go?
I went to Ireland.
Ireland,
we were driving around,
that's cool.
Driving on the wrong side of the road, so I was sweating bullets.
That's cool.
They drive on the other side of the road, so I was driving, and we went out to the countryside and we saw some sights and met some cool people, and it was fun. But the second to last day that I was there, I got something, man, this bad flu or whatever it was. I was like in the hotel room the whole last day that I was there, just sick of the dog. And then on the flight, I'm trying to like not cough. I'm like, some people don't know I'm sick. So I'm like, So I made it home, but I've been sleeping just like the last like day and a half, just in bed, just trying to get better. But it was a lot of fun, man. It really, really was. So just
awesome, man.
Get all caught up on the news. And hey, did you cover Aisha Curry?
I want to. I'm about to. Yeah. I will do that eventually. Are you going to do it?
I think I did like right before I left.
Oh, right before you left.
But what do you think about the whole thing with her just constantly disrespecting Steph Curry?
She's the exact reason why the internet, why men they bust on Russell Wilson.
Yeah,
because we have literally said this is why simping for a woman is not a good thing.
Yeah,
right? Giving women everything she wants, she will still find a reason to complain.
Yeah.
She would still find a reason to hate her fucking life. When you give her the fucking world,
Yeah.
women still find a reason.
Well, she thinks she's better than him. When
Oh,
they first met, she thought that she was just giving him a chance, and she even said that she thought that he would be a coach, that he would never make it to the NBA. So
really?
she thinks that that no matter what, because remember, a lot of women will meet a guy when he's nothing, and then he will always be nothing in her eyes.
Yeah.
I know a guy where he married his wife when he was a bum. She was paying all the bills, and then he ended up getting doing his IT stuff, and now he makes $300,000 a year, and
Ooh.
she was still treating him like he was that bum
Ugh.
that she met. So they end up getting divorced. But my point is, Aisha Curry, she even said she doesn't know why these women throw themselves at him.
Ugh.
She doesn't know. It's like you're married to a 6'4", light-skinned, green-eyed, attractive, no homo, who's one of the greatest, objectively one of the greatest at his craft. And instead of supporting him, you're trying to compete with him, which you can't do. Right? And then she wants to have her own identity. Well, and her own businesses. Well, she has the resources.
But she does have her businesses. She has her own.
But she's not talented.
Mm.
And she's stupid. So she's never going to be able to make anything out of it. She's entitled, she's lazy, she's not talented, and she's stupid. So therefore, it doesn't matter what he helps her do. She's never going to have her own identity because she's lazy and entitled. And this is the same with him, with Steph Curry, Will Smith, Obama, all these guys where their wives, as much money as Will Smith has, I would never switch places with him because he's a punk.
No, yeah. These are men that's not leading their relationships.
Not at all. No. And Aisha Curry, once again, when she and Steph Curry divorce, and they are going to divorce.
Seems like it.
And she's going to get her money, but here's the thing. Tiger Woods got divorced and lost $250 million, but he's a billionaire now. Michael Jordan got divorced. He lost $170 million, and now he's a billionaire. There was someone else who did the same thing, and so Steph Curry is gonna get divorced. She's gonna get her $80 million, and then Steph Curry is gonna find a chick that's gonna actually be his vice president. You know what I'm saying? Be the chick that wants to actually support him, and he's gonna become a billionaire, just like Jordan, just like all these other guys. But like. Aisha Curry, what's she gonna do with her life? She's just Steph Curry's wife. No one even knows who she is. You know what the craziest part is? I don't even know what LeBron James's wife looks like. Do you?
No, I don't. But that shows you that he's leading his relationship.
Thank you. I don't even know what we all know what Big Mike looks like. I don't even know what George Bush's wife looks like.
No, yeah, those are when you know that they're leading the relationship, because that woman the women need to be in the background.
This just needs to shut up. Like,
wait,
why do you have to say?
Hold up. Sorry, boys. How you doing? How you fellas doing?
What's up, Alan? What's up?
I know about. I think I might have been on your show, AJ's Rants and Reactions before.
What's up, man?
I don't remember. I think I remember you. Why does I'm curious because I'm not usually in this sphere very often. I'm interested in it though. I don't really understand it. Why would it matter if you know what George Bush's wife looks like? I'm curious about the point of that.
Okay,
because I know what she looks like. Does that mean that she's?
No, listen.
Yeah.
When you are a man who's supposed to have a certain gravitas or in your certain circles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Have you ever been like in the military or like seen officers in the military ever?
Seen officers in the military? Yeah, no, I'm not a military man.
Okay, but have you seen what their wives look like and how their wives act?
Yeah. Okay. Because I have a grandma.
Okay, so there's a certain archetype of an officer's wife. If you go to the officer's ball, you see the men over there talking about things, and then the women are over there doing the women's stuff and networking. You don't ever see that one wife over there trying to like hobnob with the men. right? That's not really. It's disruptive to what the men do, right? So a lot of times in these circles, it's the same reason why a lot of guys can't get promoted to certain jobs or positions unless they are married, because there's a certain thing where they're saying you are a trustful, like respectable man if you're married, but guys say you can't run a corporation or run a platoon if you can't run your household, right?
Does that happen? I've never
Yes.
actually. How often does that happen? I've never heard of
It
that.
still happens, bro. It happens in like law firms. I know guys that have been passed over to be partner at a law firm because they weren't married. I know guys that are cops.
Like the law firm told them specifically, like, "Hey, you
Well,
don't
there's
get
just
you
certain
don't get enough
language, like,
pussy.
No.
You don't get enough pussy.
No.
You can't get a manager.
It's
You can't be a
about.
manager."
I said getting married, dude.
No. It's about an image, right? You want to portray
It's
an
not
image.
No, hold on. I didn't say about getting pussy. I said getting married. Do you understand?
Oh, so is it more so about the bachelor aspect of the man that they're not a fan of?
Yes. A lot of men in these positions think that bachelors can't be trusted. Can
Right,
you name
okay.
one CEO or one head of state that's single?
Can you name one CEO or one head of state that got passed up from promotion for not being married?
Okay, now you're
Aside from a
begging
friend, like
No,
an
no, no,
actual
no,
story.
no.
Well,
Stop
No,
and
no.
think about it. Can you name one CEO other than maybe Elon Musk who's not married?
So
Or in
I'll
a
say I don't know
relationship?
enough. I can't say that I know enough about that. So I don't have any examples, but you obviously do know a lot about this. So can you give me any examples of a high profile CEO or something that was passed over and talked
All
about
of
it
them.
Well,
publicly?
What you could do is that you got to know personal lives, right? But what you could do is that statistically, most millionaires, most billionaires,
Uh-huh.
the majority of them are married.
Thank you.
Yes, statistically, most people are married when they hit their
Well,
40s.
No,
most
that is
statistically,
kinda
not
just-
most people,
No. But
because we have a single population of over 50 million, while the population of men is about 160. So it's not like most,
yeah,
right?
there's a
But
No, but you have to
marriage
factor
success
in. Wait, you're saying
and-
50 million single people,
and the,
Yeah.
people or men?
and the-
Because there's
men,
380 million people in America that would
yeah, no,
factor in women as single as
50
well.
million, over 50 million single men. So you use
Are the
statistics
majority of them under.
But
Here's the
but
thing.
you also got to use statistics that there's a small population of millionaires, billionaires, and
Okay.
even six-figure people, and how
Cool.
most of these people, which are rare people, majority of them are married.
And the more money you make, the less likely you are to divorce. If you're over $250 million, I'm sorry, $250,000 per year, the divorce rate drops to 18%.
So I have a number for you boys, and I just want to hear your thoughts on this. I'm assuming you were going off the Pew Research survey about single people.
Yeah,
So 41% of those are aged 18 to 28, which I wouldn't say exactly are executive age, and 36% of those are over 65 and widowed. How do you feel about that when it comes to the statistic you brought up?
what should I feel about it? I don't
Yeah,
get it.
No, I'm
I
asking.
don't
I'm
know what
asking because what would that bring the number down? 41
I don't know
plus
what you're-
36 is 77. So 77% of those single people are not in, a CEO or executive range to begin with, regardless of being married. So how would that
Well,
factor?
About the top 3% of the population.
And well, just in
Top
general,
2%.
then, if I wouldn't say that we're necessarily a single, country if those are the populations. I mean, most people in that age range wouldn't want to be married anyway.
Yeah,
You get what I'm
we're not
saying?
saying that. We're not saying that. The nation is thriving to be single, but there are new statistics that are single men are a rising demographic. Okay, so
Okay, yeah, no, I get you.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I'm trying to see the.
because you also got to compare it to history as well, right? As history goes, we are less married. We do push
Yes, we are.
marriage later on in life, and we
Agreed.
do have kids, very less kids, and kids later on in life. So it's more of a trajectory. It's more of a you view history as a whole. That's the thing.
Yeah, no, I guess so. How? I mean, I would also ask you then. The divorce rate is continually getting higher per year, right? I
True.
mean,
Yes.
so, and I would say I'd ask you this over historical context. For the majority of even, I'm not even trying to push back on you boys. I'm just curious to see the other side of this because maybe I'm, whatever.
Hmm.
For the majority of American history, women couldn't even file for divorce up until only about 60 years ago, and they were usually getting married off young. So, do you think
Yeah.
that it's because they were happier, or because they just couldn't actually go through the divorce and were getting married by their families? Because
Well,
that's the historical base for
yeah,
the
that's
majority
true.
of these young
Yeah.
marriages.
But
So,
Well,
wouldn't you say that it's actually kind of?
Marriage
I would
never
say that
was
it's
about
actually kind of.
happiness, man. Marriage was about duty, honor, respect, and people married out of necessity, right?
Yeah, but
That's
if your
how it's
spouse
been.
doesn't respect you, then why would you even
But
put
you
yourself
said
in that
happiness.
situation?
Hold on. You said happiness first, and now you're saying respect. Okay.
No, but happiness. I'd say if my partner that I was told, okay,
Okay.
it's
And
time to
now
get
you're
married,
using.
Brett. It's time to get married. Go get married, and I found out that my partner was cheating or that they just didn't like me as a person, I would feel disrespected, and out of the disrespect, I wouldn't exactly be happy. And
Yes.
that was the
Yes.
situation
But
for a lot of people
but
back in those days.
but what? Well, how do you know
You ever
that?
wonder why our grandparents fucking argue all the time?
Yeah, but here's the thing: they argue all the time because marriage is difficult. People
It
work
is.
through things. It was about something higher than themselves, it was more of a family collectivist type of thing. I have friends from like Ethiopia and other places where marriage is valued more, right?
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah, I
not
agree.
about them; it's about their children. It's about their families coming together. We've become more individualistic, and it's
Mhm.
about me, I. We're selfish and not selfless, right?
So,
And
Jay, are you married?
no,
Oh, DA, are you married?
No.
Okay, then okay, fair enough. That's actually totally fine. So in a hypothetical situation, you meet the love of your life, and I'm actually going through. I'm in my mid-20s. Like I'm navigating through life. I'm not going to say that I know everything, but these are the
Hmm.
sort of things I feel like I should talk to, especially get the other side of the issue. So I appreciate you boys chatting with me.
No.
Like if you meet the love of your life, you're in love, you get married within the year, you have a kid even pretty early, whatever, but you're doing it all you're doing it all perfect, exactly how you should in the nuclear family. And then you find out one day that your wife just walks up to you and says, you know what, I don't like you very much. I'll stay in this marriage out of respect for marriage and out of our children, but I do not like you, and I will not really do what you say, and I'm probably going to cheat on you. Would you stay in that marriage out of the morals, or would you just try to find yourself a new wife?
I wouldn't, but a lot of men do and would. Men don't leave marriages now, and women cheat just as much as
They
men
do.
do.
And
30%
I would get out of if my
of marriages
girlfriend
are
cheated on me, I'd
sexist.
probably leave that
But think of
relationship.
this though, like
Yeah.
how I know, like my dad's friends and my granddad's friends who had dreams. They wanted to be, a sportscaster or try and be an NFL player
Yeah,
or
yeah,
try and
sure.
be. But what happened in high school or in college? They got their girlfriend pregnant, so they did the right thing. They got married and worked some job that they hated for 35 years, so that they can raise the kids with some woman that they didn't like. Because
Right, but
men, we
wouldn't you
realize
but
that's
wouldn't you,
hold on,
okay,
that's our
sure, I was next. Sorry,
obligation and that's our duty to what we do. We don't go into things thinking that we're supposed to be happy. We do it because it has to be done. Women go into things saying that they need to be happy, and that's why once no fault divorce had happened, they leave en masse. It's about what needs to be done. Men don't go. I've never had a job where I expected to be happy ever, but I know that I have to work. Men view everything like that, and what happens that oftentimes women aren't made of the same stuff as men, and will marry a guy, have three of his kids, and then just say I'm not happy and destroy the whole family. Take his kids, make him a part-time dad, move in some weirdo who could molest the little kids, all because she's not happy. And it's just
Actually,
not
on the
cool.
divorce topic, men are actually asking for divorces more.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
And on
Come
the
on, dude.
trends.
Dude, you're smoking something, dude. No, come on, man. 80%.
No, give me the research that you're citing.
80% of divorces are filed by women. Come on.
Okay, I believe you. I'll take your word for it. I don't know enough about this. As far as I'm aware, it's less. But what research? I'll look it up right now. I'm on Google. What study?
But what I think is like I don't think men are asking more men are asking or at least a substantial amount of men are more asking for divorces. I think more men are not even getting married.
Yes.
I think that is
Yeah,
increasing.
because they don't want it. Because they want to avoid the
Fact.
Yeah.
shit. I'm not happy. Are safe.
Yeah.
So they just don't
because
get
they have
married.
all the risk. 'Cause
Right. So
remember,
the risk of it isn't necessarily worth it for all men. Some men, yes, I agree. And if you guys want to be that, I'm not going to stop you from it.
yeah, and I
That's
say
great.
this. You remember, the red pill is about choice, right? It's a set of facts, data, statistics that allow men to make informed choice. If guys want to get married and they take the calculated risk, do it. If you want to be MGTOW, do it. If you want to be a passport bro, do it. See, I think that we are more descriptive, and once you start doing prescriptions, like you actually need to do blank, that's when you're black pill MGTOW.
Right.
But red
Okay,
pill
gotcha,
is just
gotcha.
saying, guys, look, you could do everything right. You can be the good church guy and make money and have her be a stay-at-home mom, and she could still come home one day and be banging your best friend and take your kids. It could happen to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So
Wait, why would that be why would that be red pill? Like you need to be on that side for that to be the case.
What do you mean? I don't think
You saying that that's part of the red pill ideology?
it's
I
just
would assume
understanding
that
that could happen to you, right? Because a
Right.
lot
So
of guys,
what about the let's call it blue pill? I don't know what else to call it. The blue pill. What about them? They don't agree with that?
they think blue pill guys think that like, oh, women don't. Okay, you agreed with me when I said that women cheat as much as men.
As men, yeah, it's usually.
But see,
almost right down the middle.
someone would hear that and say, "Well, Alan, you're a misogynist because you think women are all whores."
No, I don't think so.
But what I'm
I have
saying,
never been told that actually. I've talked about this a lot of times with
what I'm saying
very
is that
liberal call-in shows as well. I've never been called that.
by you saying that that women do bad things in relationships, by you even acknowledging that there's men who will say that you just don't trust women, that who hurt you, blah 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 blah.
Okay, I get you. Well,
And
I
all
mean, yeah,
I'm
if I
saying
was
is that-
referencing like facts proven by surveys, then I don't think I would have a very easy out and say, no, actually, it's just a fact. Just making a claim, then yeah, I can understand why they might be a little on.
But I think the difference is that they go back more based on feelings, right? It's more based on feelings where they don't they feel like women are angels. They don't feel that women would hurt them. They don't, they feel like they still fall into the fantasy, right? The fantasy that, our society has created where, women wouldn't cheat. Women don't cheat on them. Women are, naturally nurturing, all these things that we.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
No, that's the thing. That's
Who
the thing
is
with
they in that. I mean, you say
it's society, right?
So
society
is. I don't think there's a single person, and I don't think if you walked around on the street, you could go to New York, you could go to the most liberal place on the planet. If you walked on the street and then surveyed 100 random people and said, "Do you think that women don't cheat?" I don't think you'd find a single person that would say yes to that.
Let me say this. I would say this. If you go to any city, I would say this. If you go to any city and you ask if you think about cheater, who comes to mind? Most people would say men.
Thank you.
I'd say woman.
Well, yeah, you would say it if you
and that's why you aren't a blue pill guy. See, you're like trying to argue.
No, I don't think that it has anything to do with political ideology most of the time.
No,
I think it just.
But we're talking.
I think it just has to do with your morals and the way that you were raised.
And
yeah, if my parents got married when they were 18, I'm statistically more likely to get married when I'm 18. My parents didn't get married until they were 30, so I'm still not married, and that doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it has anything to do with their moral.
But you also got to think about you using yourself as an example is never a good idea, right?
Okay, because fair enough. Then I won't.
You got to use generally. So most people, you got.
So generally, then how do you know that most liberals think that women can't cheat?
No, generally, that is the narrative that is put out into the world.
Yeah,
I'm listening. I would love for you to show me an example of it. I'd love to see.
My brother got divorced, right? Anytime that a man gets divorced, they'll be like, "Well, what did you do? Why did she divorce you?" Or
Yeah, I'd say the same thing.
Yeah.
If I
but
got
no, no,
divorced,
no,
you
no.
don't think my friends would be like, "What did you do?" I would be
Yes,
insulted if they didn't ask that.
But no, because it would be, what did she do? Why don't they ask, what did she do to make you divorce her?
Well, if
You
I think
just
they
did
would,
it.
they would ask that. Yeah, if I
Because when the
divorced the love of
relationship
my life,
fails,
I feel like
it's
they'd
always
probably
the
ask.
man's fault. When the
I don't think so.
you
In my
just
parents'
said,
divorce,
you
it was
just
100%
said,
my mom's fault. It
no,
doesn't mean that I think that all women are bad.
hold on. You just said
Hmm.
a second ago that you would ask the same thing.
Oh, in the situation, yeah, no, I mean, like, if the wife divorced the husband, I would ask the husband, "Why do you think that she divorced you?" And if the husband divorced the wife, I would ask
What people always
the
assume
wife.
that it's the man's fault, and even when the woman cheats, well, what did you do to make her cheat on you?
I don't think that happens as much as
It
you guys think
happens
it does.
all the time, bro.
Can
Come
you
on,
please
man.
give me an example of of anybody talking about this? Because I've never heard this. This is you guys are the first people to ever say this to me.
Talking to dude, come on, you have to be trolling it.
I'm not trolling. I'm not.
Dude,
Right
dude,
hand to
you're
God,
trolling.
I am not trolling. I really just want to
Party
hear this
Phoenix bars.
perspective.
Come on, dude. Come on, dude.
No. I'm serious. I would like to know. I've never heard these arguments, and I'm really interested by them.
You are trolling. I think you're trolling.
You
I
know,
think you're trolling because you're over talking people.
Yeah.
People
Oh,
who
my
have
bad. Okay,
points to
I'll
talk.
stop with that. My bad. I
People
don't know
who
why I would
have
troll
points
this.
and they want
Why would I even?
their
What would I
points to
even
be
get out of
heard. They
trolling
don't
you guys?
over talk. You don't over
No,
talk
I just
people.
have
Anytime where there's
things to
any
say.
negative outcome in relationships, men, it's always assumed that men did something wrong. It's always Jermaine's fault. You know it, and I know it. Anytime you have a woman who's using the courts to keep the man's kids from him because the courts, and oh well, why aren't you seeing your kids? Why aren't you fighting more, dude? If you want to see all of a DA's points and my points proved, do you know when your family court day is at your local county courthouse? Do you know what day it is? It's usually Tuesdays. I want you to go down to that courthouse on Tuesday, and I want you to sit in that lobby and watch men get destroyed by women and the courts, and get destroyed. They can't see their kids. They get divorced. They're getting destroyed, and you will see that every single red pill talking point that we say is true. That men get completely dicked, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. This is the only place we can talk about these issues, and the fact that like you must live. See, and this is why we call it the red pill, because if you see the stuff we see, once you see it, it's everywhere. You realize men,
right?
Okay. There's a small group of men that use government and women to redistribute wealth from the rest of us men to themselves. Okay? And women, they're so stupid that they think that they're winning by divorce court and alimony and all this other stuff. But the judges, the lawyers, they're all making money off of all of this. When the feminists and the suffragettes blew up, it was rich corporate fat cats that were giving them support, because it pushed all of the women to become corporate drones, and next thing you know, the workforce doubled.
I actually am very interested in that statement, because I'm agreeing with you. I agree with most of what you were saying. You're right. You're very correct about all of that. When you say that suffragettes is kind of out of the picture, because that's just about women's rights to vote. Or are we talking about that too?
No, just
like women's rights. Let's just say like first wave feminists.
It's about voting rights.
What example do you have for corporations giving them money so they can become corporate entities?
Because most
Title
of the women
4D.
at the time.
No, seriously, give me like an example. I'll look it up right now, and I'll say that you're
Title 4D.
Yeah.
Title 4D?
Yeah, the number 4 and then the letter D. The reason why it's that way is because every dollar that, let's say you get put on child support.
Yeah, I have seen this before.
Every dollar that you get that you pay the child support, the government matches as well.
Agreed. Yes, and I do know what you're saying, and I do understand what you're saying. Thank you for pointing.
So that is kind of like it's I don't even know the correct term. It's not necessarily like a Ponzi scheme, because it's not like investment in, but it's a very shitty ethical play is what I'll say. It's not necessarily like a Ponzi scheme where that is like illegal.
Yeah, no, I get
illegal. You're literally taking money from Peter to pay Paul, and you're skimming some off the top. to keep to yourself. That's a Ponzi scheme. That's what that Ty Lopez guy is just getting cooked for.
Yeah.
And if anybody ever believed him, dude, you were already cooked to believe that guy will ever do something legit. Like, I did want to say this to you because you mentioned a lot about you
Yeah, what's
wanted
up, man?
you had a Pew Research thing up, and
Yeah.
just my how I view things, I don't believe any statistical data because they can't be what do you call it, like reproduced again. So if something was, let's say something was 90% true back in the 80s, 10 years later you can't even get it up to like 40 or 50%. And it's like
Well, it depends on
whatever the
the
statistic is
thing.
because it's not this, the way stats are done, they're not done ethically, they're not done with rigor, and then they're not even translated correctly. So I think it's
Okay, I
another
have a
YouTuber
question.
said it.
I have a question for
Well,
you
that
then.
would be
So
more of like
we do
social
the United
sciences. I
States.
mean, soft sciences, and not hard
We do
Go
the
ahead.
science.
United States Census every 10 years, and we use the census for that entire decade when making a lot of policy changes and statistical changes and like statistical evidence. Would you say that the way that we do census data is not good?
No, I would say no. And the only reason why I would say no is
Okay,
because the problem, I always said this, I said this on the show before. I don't have much time because my phone's actually getting ready to die, but I said this
you're
on the
good.
show. Any time you have an issue with like
Yeah.
society or something like that, it's normally one of two things. It's either there is no line drawn or the line that is drawn gets to move. And just the instance that you gave me, the Census Bureau, right? They do the checks. Okay, so the Census Bureau does the checks on the population. Good for them. The issue with that is all the other things that they actually, all the other ways that they concoct or they they deal with the population. So let's say they do the population this year, right? They do it,
Hmm.
it's legit. We have this many men, we have this many kids, this many women, this many people. 5 years
Yep.
later, or the next year, they pass a law saying a man can say he's a woman now. So 3 years later, after that, now when they do the polling data, that man says he's a woman on that same Census Bureau, that same stat. So if the government doesn't either one put that in there or like uh
Mhm.
kind of inform, it's like the Surgeon General warning on the sign of the cigarettes. If they don't do that, saying, hey, this guy thinks guys that think they're girls, they get to put girls on this Census Bureau, and then they give it to us, and then if you bring that up and you think it's going to stand the test of time, it's not, because guys now get to vote as girls, girls get to vote as guys. There's also certain things you can do with like baby deletions. I'm not going to say the A word, but baby deletions, that isn't really taken into consideration. So the whole thing with Tim Walsh when he was up in Minnesota, how they wanted to legalize it up to 9 months. Let's say that they did that. They didn't do it, but I'm just saying, let's say that was on the docket. So that's
Yeah.
something very significant. You have to put
I
all
no, I
these,
get you.
you have to put all
Um.
these other things in because and I'll leave it at this. The problem with marriage and like statistics and everything in the world is that those one or two things. It's not played honor. It's not played with honor, and that's when it's not played with honor. Everybody's out for the take, and that's the issue. When everybody's out for the take, then you're gonna have issues. It's like a bank robbery. All of us on this thing can go rob a bank, but if
Yeah.
somebody out of any one of us says, I need most of the money, well, then he's going to try to get in your ear or get in my ear. Or then let's say we do it in that Batman scene where they all robbed the bank and then they all started killing each other off. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's not even doing it on whatever whatever it is,
Mhm.
we're not doing it honorably. And women aren't going into marriage honorably. The laws ain't even honorable toward men.
Wait. How does this? I actually kind of agree with what you're saying about the way that we handle statistics and stuff in our country. It is kind of flawed. How does that have anything to do with women going to marriage honorably?
No, it
The
has
way that
nothing
we
to do
take
with because
statistics. Oh, you're just saying. Okay, so
no,
that's just your
I'm
next
not
point.
talking about statistics. I'm just saying the issue with anything in life, it's because
Yeah.
people aren't doing it honorably. I'll leave it to you like this. I played a game. I'm pretty sure y'all familiar with. It's called Airsoft.
Yeah.
Y'all may
Hell
have
yeah,
heard
man.
of
I
it. It's
fucking
kind of
love
like
airsoft.
paintball,
Good
right?
for you. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah. So the I used to play it years ago, and when I would play, you have to be, if you get hit by a BB, you have to tag yourself out because
Yep.
I'm looking at you get shot by a BB. You have to say that you got hit. You got hit. The problem with it is people would get hit by a BB and not say that they got hit. When they keep
Right.
doing that, that causes friction. And and women do that in going into marriage and even outside of marriage. The things that they give the man going into marriage, or even let's just say the standards that are put on the man, they keep increasing without a value back. That's one way that they don't go into honorably. Second way is when they actually get into the marriage, the number one tool they used to get over the finish line of marriage was probably sex. And then when they get into marriage, that is the one thing that they continue to negotiate. And when you continue to negotiate, now you have the man behind the paywall. He's on the other side of the gun line. Once you're on the other side of the gun line, there's no deals to be made. It's blood in, blood out. And that's the issue. So a woman will get married.
Oh,
Oh no, did his phone die?
I don't know. So,
Well, it
I was
seems
really
like it.
interested.
yeah,
I was
two
really
of the
interested in what you had to
suffragettes.
say.
What?
Thanks, Artie.
But two of the suffragettes, one was Vanderbilt's wife, and the other one was
Yes.
Miriam Leslie. They were both wives to millionaires. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, like,
suffragettes though. I agree. The suffragette, that was very
and
much
they
based
and
on
the
a lot of
suffragettes
corporate
hated
money.
black people, and I'm black. so the whole white feminist thing isn't the smartest thing, you know.
Yeah,
But
I agree
just-
with you, but when it came
just-
to fighting for divorce rights, it was mostly grassroots.
But
I feel like
here's the thing,
anyone will
though,
agree with
is
that.
this.
Anyone will agree with
We-
that. I don't
okay.
know where you're getting the number from that it was
when
mostly funded by corporate entities.
when we look about no fault divorce, right?
Sure.
No fault divorce. Okay, men initiate 100% of marriage, right? Because we propose, we control access to marriage and relationships, and women control access to sex and who's born. That's just the thing.
Okay. I'll go with you.
Okay, come here, argue that. Oh, no, argue that. You had a
Oh,
you had
argue that? No, I mean, I
Objection.
agree with you. I'd say that it's usually comes down to the man to quote unquote propose, but
usually. Can you name in your personal life any woman who's ever proposed to a man?
yeah, my aunt and uncle.
Well, let's just say it's the majority, right?
Your
Yeah, we
aunt
can
got
go with
there are
majority, but no, we can go with
Your aunt
majority.
got down on one knee in public with a ring, proposed.
Yeah,
to
they
your-
did it at a fair. She thought it would be funny, and he said yes, and they've been happily married since. It had nothing to do. It didn't change the dynamic at all.
I mean, that's fine. There's always outliers. So
I guess.
but that
Right, and I would
doesn't
say
change-
most,
that
but
doesn't
let's.
change
there's
I'm
that
just saying if
1%.
we're gonna.
But
It's the majority.
Even if it's 0.1%, just saying 100% is kind of
But-
facetious and gives off a. You can agree that it kind of instantly already, because you're talking to me as if I don't know anything, and I really don't. So I appreciate it.
99.99%, right?
Yeah, that's fine, but okay, sure,
and
whatever. I'll go with it.
So, men when we marry, right? And this is generally our fault because men, we have civilized the world to where women have been allowed to forget the practical benefits of coupling. See, our great grandparents, they actually needed to get married because we were more agrarian. Things weren't as safe out there. So if there's for instance, my sister, she's 48, she's single AF. She's by herself in her house. If there's some psycho killer, right, and he's gonna break into her neighbor's house who has her husband there, or my sister's house who's a chick by herself, whose house is he gonna break into? Because she's a single woman by herself. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So men used to protect and provide. It was a practical thing that people did. But then we civilized the world to where women in the West can pretty much go anywhere that they want and do whatever that they want to do and have general safety.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, that wasn't real. I mean, it wasn't an actual thing. So when they did no fault divorce, they also added they've incentivized women to divorce with the whole child support, alimony, and even giving a social, Section 8, TANF food stamps to women. So now and I know that because the Black community, the Great Society, LBJ, gave Black women they could choose the government or they can choose Black men, and they chose the government, and now Black families are all messed up. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And here's the thing.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
So us Blacks, we are the canary in the coal mine. Anything that
Sure.
happens to us happens to you whites next. And now you're seeing it more and more with whites, where there's more and more women who are single moms who are choosing the government. They're basically outsourcing everything that they would need husbands for. They call the cops, a man is there. Call a plumber, a man is there, right? You used to
that's
have
an
this as your
assumption
husband.
still.
Huh?
But we still, and I agree with what you're saying. I do, but you are still making assumptions, though.
No.
And assumptions are usually, I don't know.
How?
Let me say something real quick.
Do you know the amount of women in the police force? Automatically assuming it's
let me
be a
say
Come
man
on.
that's
something
gonna
real quick.
protect-
Wait. Phoenix Bars. Alan, you're okay. If you
what's
were
up?
in trouble right now, let's just say there was two dudes. I'm 6'3", 250. If I was
I'm
breaking into your house and you call the cops, you would want a woman to show up. I mean, let's be
I'd
honest.
want someone trained with a
Oh,
gun to
come
show up.
on, dude! I have a second
What are
channel
you
called
talking
50
about?
and 304.
Wait, I don't
right?
get what you're saying. Okay,
Okay.
I guess if I had to pick if they were gonna do a fist fight, I'm picking the big dude.
Exactly.
But I would
so you
want-
would want
I-
a man to show up.
I don't think. I'm not gonna say that because I don't believe it. I appreciate.
Dude,
I understand what
come
you're saying.
on, dude. I have a whole channel of body cam reactions, and I call female cops the ponytail patrol because they're useless.
I know you. Yeah. Okay. So
They
but
are
the
a
issue is that they
one-legged
actually
man in an
do-
ass-kicking contest. Let's be honest.
I
Women
think
are
that,
only-
and I think that. Are you trained? Do you train jujitsu or
yes,
boxing or anything?
jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
judo,
So you'd murder most
kickboxing.
people. I don't think it has
But,
anything
but,
even
but,
to
but
do
no,
with the fact that you're
the average man. I've seen. Okay, my friend, he was training for a month in kickboxing, and he accidentally knocked out a national champion kickboxer woman. Accidentally, he went, "Whoops!" Bang, and she went down. Dude,
Yeah, because they have
like-
they have smaller bodies and their bones aren't. Yeah, I agree with you.
What I'm saying is, didn't you see the video that went viral, guys, of the two female cops trying to arrest the guy in the restaurant? He was like a small Mexican guy. And,
Oh, yeah,
and they couldn't take him down. Like,
Yeah, I also saw. Okay, then I also saw a video of two male cops not being able to take down a small guy. It was actually really funny. Does that
Here's
mean
the
I
thing.
wouldn't automatically assume that all male cops are not strong?
But here's the thing: if they were actually trying to take him down, because remember, cops.
No, they were.
You-
It was fucking
listen,
unfortunate.
listen.
They got paid. They got put on leave, dude. It was bad.
What I'm saying is, in general, the two female cops had to call one of the male waiters to come take the guy down. Cops in general, they have to not hurt you, so they're trying to handle you without hurting you. If the cops were actually, if it was a real fight, they'd have beat the hell out of him. My point is that if you train jiu-jitsu, then you know what do they tell you when you roll? Guys, when you're rolling girls, don't strength your way out of things.
Yeah,
technique
they
your
do.
way out of things. Now they
Yeah,
would
because
tell you
they
that
have-
because
I agree.
that's
I'm
what
with
I'm
you.
saying is even the idea of women in the police force, their physical standards aren't even compared to men's. So
What about fat dudes and what about fat cops? How you feel about fat
can
cops?
still
'Cause
fat cops at one point still could pass the police test at the men's
no, but
level.
the fat cops that do pass
might
the
have-
same standards as women.
They don't. Cops pass the test and then get fat once they're out of the academy for years.
Yeah, I
and years.
felt
But
that.
they
All
were
right,
in shape
word.
at one point.
I'd still, but I would also
I'm
say that
saying-
I'd rather have a fit cop than a fat cop. I mean, we can
Yeah,
I
I agree
argue all that
there.
all day long. I don't
But
think
can you
really-
say that it's not okay that women cops and men cops get paid the same, even though women don't pass the same standards?
They actually do in most of the. What do you mean?
No,
the same
they don't.
standards?
Come on,
What do you mean?
man.
No, don't come on, man.
on,
I'm confused
man.
on what you're
Nah,
talking
you
about.
need to live a little bit, read more. You need to read and
I'd love to read. No,
level
please
with-
enlighten me.
you need to read more, dog. Because for you to make that statement is, like I said, either you're a troll or
Okay.
you need to
I
read
just don't know
more.
anything about
Or
this.
you
I'm
need-
actually
you-
I'm learning a
you're
lot right
talking,
now.
You talk a lot for somebody who doesn't know that much. That's all I'm
Dude,
saying.
they say I
That's all I'm
get this
saying.
a lot. As a matter of fact,
But
thank you.
it's okay. I mean, having a conversation is not a bad thing. So
No,
it's
I
cool.
come here in good faith, boys. I'm seriously
Yeah.
just trying to get your perspective on these things. I've never heard of most of these things, and I appreciate you educating me. So, what are the different standards? So, when it comes to strength tests or fitness, cardio, what are the standards? Because
The
written test is
actual
the same,
test,
I know that. For a
the
fact.
actual test for women to become police officers is different than the actual test for men to become police officers, and also in the army. That is a fact. That is true. That
Yeah.
is a fact. That is what it is. For them, they have to do 2 pull-ups. A man might have to do 20. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is.
Well, in the army now, when women do a dead hang, they don't even do pull-ups anymore.
They only do yeah,
Yeah,
correct.
so they just gotta
Correct.
hang from a bar and not even do
Correct.
pull-ups anymore.
Oh, I get
Correct.
what you're saying. Okay, I feel it.
Absolutely
So
insane.
do you think that we shouldn't have women cops in general?
I do
That's
not.
a fine opinion.
Okay.
I understand that opinion. If you have
I
it.
think we shouldn't have women cops. We should have women that are there to pat down and like search female offenders and de-escalate. But they should so male cops don't get false essay.
That's the reason why you'd
accusations.
rather they have female cops?
Yes, because in every other situation, they're a one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest. They're useless. They're useless.
Okay.
Like I've seen in the
I
last
don't
6
think they're
months.
useless. I think that anyone trained with a gun would be pretty useful.
But
That's
here's
what I
the
was
thing,
saying.
though. They would be more. I mean, like if you're smaller and weaker. I mean, I don't know the stats on this, but I have seen a case where there was a bunch of male cops and a female cop, and this big black dude, and the female cop shot the guy. And the guy's like, "What'd you shoot me for?" She was scared because she was so small. All the men were not as because they were like bigger and stronger. Like if you're smaller, you are more likely to use a force equalizer. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So like,
Yeah. Okay. Word. I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you.
I just think that in a job where you have to be physically, I mean, where there's physical altercations, there's no reason why you should have any women at all. I don't think that they should be in combat. I don't think that they should be firefighters. I don't think that they should be police officers. It's just not a good idea.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's really
And
fair. I
here,
appreciate
it's
that.
not here.
That's a
It's
really
not-
good. No, that's a really good
It's
point.
not optimal. How about that?
Yeah.
It's not optimal.
I get you. No, word. I feel it. Yeah,
I
I
mean-
mean, and the only reason I even brought this up is that I'm just saying that I don't know. I
No.
just think it's a bit the hyperbole in these sort of conversations. I see it on both sides.
But-
You're right. There are a lot of fucking wokers.
But
out there
haven't
that are
you?
the
But
most
haven't you
insufferable.
done jujitsu though? Like so you know the physical differences
Yes, I
between
do.
men and women. So there
Very
is
much
no
so. I
hyperbole.
do.
You would I don't know.
I did
what,
get tabbed by one once though. It was funny.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but you weren't first of all, there was no strikes involved. And
Yes.
and second of all, you weren't actually trying. I mean, let's be honest, dude. You were like,
Well,
oh,
I would say I know. I mean,
I don't
this
wanna
is
hurt her.
I mean, this is a couple years ago at this point. I wasn't exactly good. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. I can't say that it hurt my pride necessarily. It was just kind of like, okay, so it can't
because
happen.
I've
I don't
gone
know.
against girls that were really, 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 really good, and I've been
Yep.
tapped out. But here's the thing: once again, we were told, don't use your equalizer and that strength. Don't muscle your way out of things.
Yes.
Meaning
No,
that
I
I'm letting
can
this
see it.
girl do this stuff to me right now. If I wanted to, didn't you? You guys know who Juliana Pena is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember she just used to be the women's champ, and she said that she started training thinking she was a badass. So she
Yeah, I
worked
saw
at a
that.
restaurant. Yeah, and she
Yeah,
got in a fight
yeah.
with like a line cook, and he beat the crap out of her. You know?
I saw that interview.
Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. Us guys don't go around talking about how we can beat the crap out of chicks. I mean, we just don't. It's these WNBA players that are like, put me out there with LeBron. It's like, are you?
Yeah, that's
are you
just
high?
crazy.
Are you high?
I'm with you.
Like,
No, when it comes to these things, I'm 100% with you boys. Like I like 100%. Trust me. I just think that it doesn't necessarily translate when it comes to like social and political things. That's all I'm saying. I think that it can translate sometimes, but I'm not expecting my wife to beat the shit out of a guy before
Now, you
if a
you
burglar
haven't
comes in. I'm
under-
expecting my sig to fucking go off. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like I think that when it comes to the autonomy of marriages and just relationships in general, let's just say long-term relationships. Marriages are a little more tricky because then it's a legal thing. That's why I don't.
dude,
plan
your
on getting
sound is
married.
acting up. It's going like burp, burp.
Yeah.
burp.
Oh,
you,
is
you
my-
do have
is my
weird
mic-
sound.
Oh my bad. Let me I think I can change this setting right quick. Does this make it better or not?
Talk a little bit.
What about now? How we doing?
Yeah, that
That
sounds
sounds
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's doing like a weird thing. But yeah,
And now is it better? Is it any better now?
yeah,
Wait.
that's good.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. I just want to make sure. Okay.
Just to
No, I'm with you. I'm
clarify
with you. I guess.
my position though, I just think a lot of younger guys, especially Gen Z and young
Yeah.
millennials, they saw older millennials, Gen X, and young boomers get cooked. They did everything that they were supposed to do. They were, they got married young, they had kids, or even then they put off marriage and they have their business going, and they went to law school and they did all these other things. They were the faithful husband who was doing good, and his happiness was making his family and his wife happy. Because when men win, everyone wins. When women win, women win, right? So, and the wife was saying,
I'm pretty sure
think
people
of this.
that beat their wives probably feel that they're winning. I don't know if that means that
What it-
everyone wins in that scenario.
What does that have to do with what I'm saying is you ask most guys, you give them money. They're gonna be like, oh wait, I can get married and have kids and start a family. If you give a woman money, she'll be like, I can buy a bag or whatever. Do you think most women say that once they get money that they're gonna
I don't think
start
most
a family?
men. I don't think most single men would say the moment that they get money that they're gonna go start a family.
That they're gonna
Well,
I'd say if they were already in a
it's more like-
relationship, sure, but like I mean, a single
it's
dude
more
getting
like-
$1 million, you think they're immediately just gonna start trying to
that
date
they're gonna
everyone they
start
see?
thinking about how to help other people. That's how most men are.
But is that like a thing or is that like a
Yes.
theory?
Most men, our nature is selfless, and women's nature is selfish.
I was
I'll
waiting
tell
for
you
you
why.
to say that.
Because
on what
us men,
metric? On what metric?
listen, because us men in general, we are expendable. We're supposed to die in war. We're supposed to die to protect our children and our wives. Look at the men who get up and go to these ice road truckers and all these dangerous jobs and die in coal mines. They don't do that because they're selfish, right? Women have to be selfish because they have to protect themselves and their children, right? So like ultimately
Protecting the children though, I wouldn't count as
listen.
selfish.
Well,
Would you count that
hold
as selfish?
Okay.
If a stay-at-home mom is not going to work and not dying in the coal mines, but she's taking care of the kids, would you call that selfish?
But but she was selfish in that she chose the best man that could give her the life to where she could be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah, but she's still choosing to be the stay-at-home mom. If she wanted to, she could just divorce his ass immediately, but she didn't. So I would say
The
that's
likelihood
not exactly
is that
selfish.
statistically,
Yeah, if every
she's
single woman
gonna
that ever gets married divorces them after 5 years, I'd say that women are
But-
selfish creatures, but that doesn't happen very often.
But what I'm saying is that women had to be selfish and think of themselves and who can take care of them because of how dangerous the world used to be, right? Like you didn't want to be the woman who had a husband who couldn't protect you, who couldn't provide for your kids. So they had to think in a way that was more like towards their own interests. Whereas men, we think about the interests of our family, our country, etc. Right? And if time comes and you got to go give your life for said thing, you will do it. Right? Now, there's 3 things that used to make women act more selfless: religion, social and traditional gender norms, and shame. And those 3 things are gone. And here's the thing: I'm not religious, so I don't endorse religion. But I am saying that if you look at these non-Western countries, right? Places in Africa, Southeast Asia, South America, where there is more religion that enforces more traditional gender norms, societal norms, they are more married, they have more kids with less material stuff, and they report to be happier. If you pull up the happiness index, the women actually say they're actually happier in Uruguay, in Paraguay, in Bolivia, in Vietnam than in women in the West.
But did they chalk that up to being religious on the happiness?
Well,
it's a kind of a vague the happiness index. I agree with you. It's kind of vague.
The religion makes them prioritize family and children, and family and marriage. So, for instance.
But it also makes them subservient in a lot of ways. And I feel like in the Western world might not.
Per your Western lens, though, you can't take your Western lens and say that makes them subservient, though.
No, yeah, I get you, but I mean, from that's what I'm saying. In our society now that we have
Yes,
the
but look at the
information that we
outcomes in
do,
our
we might
society,
think that
though.
way.
You
So
know what
it's
I'm
not.
saying?
I don't think it really has much to do with. Let me put it like this, because I do get what you're saying, and I appreciate you saying that. I think that it's kind of a non-sequitur conversation at this point, because
Yo, AJ, you might be too. If you're too sick, it's all good, man.
Yeah.
oh,
I
dude, are you sick?
dropped
Oh
off here.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh
I
man,
got
sorry.
freaking something crazy on the plane when
Fuck that. No,
I
I
was
No,
feel
coming
it.
back.
go
Yeah,
rest.
but no, guys, this is a good conversation.
No, I'm really appreciate you
I
guys
think,
talking with me.
Alan,
Thank you.
that you okay, where you are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm from Seattle, Washington, so I grew up in a very, very super liberal area, right?
Yeah.
And some of the opinions that you have, you will be vilified for having. You just don't know it yet. You haven't said it around the
No, I
right
have been.
people,
I have been before.
right?
I
And
have.
what I'm
Trust,
saying
oh,
is that
trust me.
there's as somewhat back and forth as we've had. You make a lot of really good points. You have a good head on your shoulders. But here's the thing: what you're seeing, don't ever let anyone gaslight you into thinking that what you're noticing is not true. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? But because
Yeah.
the overriding narrative is if men have any boundaries, we're evil. If men point out anything that's negative about the opposite sex, you're wrong. If you're a white guy, you can't say anything about anyone because you're a cisgendered hetero white guy and you're evil
Yeah,
and
and
you're
I
whatever.
just want to
And
say
it's
this,
just
and I agree. I get what you're saying because that has become, unfortunately, the statistic of like, I don't know, what do you want to call it? The blue pill? I don't give a shit. Who cares? All these labels that we put on on each other. I think it just leads to shit like this because I can't name a single person. I'm a Second Amendment loving Democrat, bro. Like, I've gone through this shit.
yeah.
There's a lot of people that think that I don't belong here. And that's fair. I get it. I understand their perspective. I don't agree with it,
You
obviously.
sound like a classical liberal. You know what I'm
You
saying?
get what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So, like,
Which is
when
how
it comes
I grew
down,
up. But
yeah.
all my friends, dude, Alan, all of my friends are so far to the left that they think that I'm like some right-wing crazy conservative. It's like, no, I've always been a kind of more classical liberal, but I can't even call myself a Democrat anymore because the party's gone completely off the rails. So I'm an independent,
Sure, I get
right?
you. Yeah, no, I feel it. That, see, now that's a fun conversation. I get you, man.
And what I'm saying is that the fact that you would even question any of the narratives that the Democrats have, they will excommunicate you. Everything that I used to say that the religious right did, the far left does. They have their own dogma. They have their own excommunication process. They have everything that the far evangelical right does. Now the woke liberal left does, and I can't stand it. So,
And
all
I
right,
get,
guys,
I
I'm gonna
100%.
jump off
All
No,
right,
no,
before I
yeah.
fall over
have a
in my
good one,
chair.
brother.
But
Thank you for talking with me. I appreciate
DA,
it.
hey, let's do a collab soon, man.
Yeah, we'll do it soon.
All right, my friend.
All right, man.
Take it easy.
Later, bro.
Well, that was a fun conversation.
No,
Appreciate it, fellas.
I enjoyed it. No, Alan, it's all. You know what? This is the
Yeah,
thing
what's up,
where
man?
I like that. You know, you have a counter view, which is always a good thing. I think this is
Yeah.
the space. You're right. Labels is needless, right? I just think that it's more about knowledge and being open minded. So this is where it's always a good thing to question, right? I always like that. We need to question each other. We need to question, you know, anything. So it's always a good thing because I don't believe that this space is about restricting anyone or telling anyone what to do. It's just more about here's the knowledge, here's the talking points, and you decide how you use it yourself. So that's what I love about it. And
Oh,
everyone
yeah,
could
brother.
disagree.
I appreciate
So
it. No, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get going too, but I don't know. I like talking in these sort of spaces. I've actually been doing it a lot.
no,
Just because I'd want to get out of that echo chamber. You know what I mean? And
no.
I think it's a good thing. I appreciate it.
No, I love that you have a different point of view. I mean, if you say you're a Democrat, I would love for you to come back more often. Because like Wednesdays, I try to have an open mic.
Yeah, I love
So yeah,
I
we could
might be
talk.
back
We could
on,
definitely talk about politics as well. Because I would
Hell yeah,
love
brother.
to wonder why you're still a Democrat.
Yeah, fair enough. I get asked that a lot, but these starter shows that I go on. Yeah, no, 100%, man. I'll hit you with a sub and see if I can make the next stream.
No, yeah. Hit me message me or something.
Yeah, all right, sounds good. Well, I appreciate it. You have
right.
yourself a good night. Thanks for having me.
All right, bro.
Yes, sir. Bye bye.
Yo, Artie, what's up?
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I was tuning in for a little bit, and I came in when probably about 30, 40 minutes ago originally, and I was just listening. But yeah, the guy seems, I don't know how old he was. He definitely seems fairly young. He definitely
He seems
sounds
he's
like,
young. He's young.
how old is he?
I think he said he was around 18.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's what it
Don't
sounds
listen
like.
to anything he got to say. He
It's, it's just a kid. Just learning, talking.
Yeah, I mean,
so
the problem is, see, the thing about this whole RP space and like young kids wanting to get in is because, I mean, now we're at the age, I know me, you, and some of the older people, we're at the age where, I mean, I have a 12-year-old and I'm trying to help my 12-year-old do a backflip, and she's in like gymnastics and things like that, and she's like, well, I don't need my help, and you don't need my help, all right, go ahead, do it, and then you keep falling on your face. Now, you see what I'm saying? Like, people think that they know what they know, and they just don't have quite enough experience with the downsides of it, because it's easy on the ride up to act like you know it all. You know what I mean? It's only when you're humbled you can see things clear as day, you know?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, 18 years old, I don't know where you're at in the world, but you have, in my opinion, this is just me, you have zero world experience. I mean, you still do homework, literal homework. Somebody is directing your mental education. Like, you haven't seen enough, you haven't even come into a contact with enough people from different facets of life. So for all of us, we've been to a club, we've seen girls get blacked out drunk, guys touching on girls inappropriately, this, that. He hasn't even seen that with his own eyes. So it's very hard when you're 18 and younger. I say 18 to like 23, 24. You just haven't seen enough of what really happens. And it's kind of hard to stomach almost, because he made a point about, that's why I came in and I spoke about the statistics. Like, dude, if you're going to talk about statistics, realize that statistics, they can't even be replicated again just because we have so many women in psychology. The rigor of what we can actually like test, it's gone out the window. So we can't even test the same things again. And my example was just that with the boys are now girls. So if you want to give me the census data, well, I can easily screw up the census data by saying boys can be girls. That's all you gotta do is write on the paper you're a girl, and that's it. So now, 5 years from now, or whenever they do the census again, we got 5% more girls. Well, birth rates don't show it, but all of a sudden we got 5% more. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you got to have that rigor as an adult. And it's just not there when somebody's 18 years old, and God bless him, how he said he's still a Democrat. I mean, I don't know, now Democrat juice must be mighty sweet. That sweet tea they serving over there, I don't know. But yeah, man, it's just hard to just, and I love the guy for it. He's growing, at least he has the nuts to speak and the
I think
wherewithal to attempt.
I think that's the part, the amazing part, where I don't. Here's my thing: where I don't discourage anyone from asking questions and challenging. Right? This is a thing where we do have an epidemic of young men having trouble navigating the world. So I don't, in my opinion, I encourage it. I encourage actually young men to jump into the sphere. And you know what? If you have debates, if you have questions, if you have disagreements, bring it on. I say bring it on, because I think that's what we need more of. Where, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you that a lot of these young men don't have life experience and they're not out seeking this life experience. But here's the point where older men should come in. Where, okay, you have your world views shaped, so bring it on. Bringing in, what's your opinions, what's your thought? Because like I said, I'm surprised this young man is a Democrat, right? You should already not even do that. So I'm down with, challenging these young men's viewpoints, because a lot of these young men, guess what? They're being shaped. Not saying this guy particularly, right, Alan, but a lot of these young men are being shaped by women, right? Their logic is being shaped by women. So I'm saying no, come in. You have questions. You have you believe different things. Okay, come on. I'm down for talking to you and having a debate, having a conversation. I know my my bros also have opinions to share. So I'm always down for, if more young men want to jump into the space and have a conversation, I think we should support it. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
I agree
it
with
was.
both. Yeah,
Artie, let Big Bars talk.
Yeah,
What
go
you
ahead. Go
what's
ahead.
your thought?
I agree with both of your statements, but my only issue is, like I say, this American arrogance that instead of we live in a technological age. We can have our phone. We can be on. I'm on my phone right now. I can have my iPad right here if I want to, and I can actually look up what we're talking about, and then you know what to say. You're not jumping out there looking foolish. That's my only thing. It's this arrogance that I know. 18 years old, you haven't even had your first kick. You know, you haven't even had your first real letdown at that point. So you can't even like, and the fact that this is my thing. Yes, I agree that people should be able to, the youth need somebody to talk to. They need eldership. They need leadership. You know what I'm saying? I do agree with that. But for you to, back in my day, I couldn't come in. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do this.
Mhm.
And it's not because we wasn't technologically there. That is true also. But you don't remember the statement, don't get in grown folks business. That used to be a
Yeah,
thing. That used to be a thing. And it should be, put some respect on my name, man. That's all I'm saying. Put some respect on my name.
yeah. It's you absolutely right, Big Bars. I mean, it's very tough because it's not so much that it's age. It's just that because anybody can have experience. I mean, hell, most girls when they get like 30 years old, let's just say a girl is 35, let's just say she's 35 years old. She's literally had 20 years of dudes trying to get into her pants. So she has very um a very clear view on like men's desires and things like that. But when you're 18, you're not even experiencing women like that. So to have these viewpoints on women, unless, I mean, I'm not saying you're not, but I'm saying unless you the high school quarterback, you the Peyton Manning of your school, slinging touchdowns left and right, or you Kobe Bryant in the flesh, you know, crossing people up on the court, you don't have the experience with women per se that you would know enough. And then now you can get the experience outside of high school, college, and into adulthood. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he ain't shot a gun. He ain't seen cocaine before. I mean, he ain't done no illicit drugs.
Come on.
He ain't popped no pill. He ain't been in no club. He ain't been to a strip club. I'm pretty sure he hasn't traveled. He hasn't driven from West Coast to East Coast or back and forth. I mean, he hasn't been outside the country. I'm just guessing things that I'm pretty sure he's never done, you know? And I'm not saying that you have to do those things to understand women. I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
you have to have enough experience with a woman. And so many of those things that I mentioned are kind of where like women since the 60s, 70s have been like gearing their interest to. So we all may not have done those things that I mentioned, but we all know that women like gifts and bags. Like you remember walking through the mall just trying to get girls' phone numbers, and girls will literally go to the mall with no fucking money
Ah, I remember
just
that.
to try to get a boy to buy them something. Like he doesn't have these experiences. You see what I'm saying? Like the phone that he's ever seen has been a damn iPhone. He doesn't know what the T-Mobile Sidekick looked like, the Nextel, was that 860 where you press the button on the side of he doesn't understand these things. And God bless him for having the courage to be up here. But eventually I also said this, or somebody told me this. He said, only the kids that bear the mark truly know the stove is hot. He will, like kids, you tell them don't touch the stove, don't touch the stove. But the kids that got that burn mark, they know that the stove is hot. He will eventually learn through experience how women truly are.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
we can't give that to him. We can only tell him that he has to be a sponge to wisdom. And that's where I know that we try to do our best to like impute into kids and into our youth and into our friends and family about like the ways of women. And it's only relatively the last 20 years that men have been more vocal about the
Yeah,
ways
yeah,
of women.
yeah,
But
yeah.
we have to figure out a way to not necessarily convince, because you can't convince. I mean, you can take
Yeah, no, yeah, not
a
convince
horse to
people.
water, but you can't make him drink. We can't make him see the truth, but eventually I feel like we have to maybe try to develop a better plan to physically show them instead of
Well,
talking to them about it all the times, you know?
Well, I mean, to be honest, that's like no one here is like God or anything. So I think this is the thing where I've said this before where I don't support all men. I support good men. So we can't change or want to change all men. It's just how it is. And I don't think that's how Red Pill is. Red Pill is pretty much an information packet. Okay. And what you do with that information, that's up to you because, all of us are adults, So for me, it's like, I think that's the best step for any young man where I agree with the big bar. I mean, bars that, yeah, I mean, the kids are different nowadays. Younger men are different, but it is what it is because you gotta think young men are now raised by women. Young men are now raised by the internet, raised by social media, raised by a lot of times leftist democratic politics. So I get a little bit of the maybe the disrespect, but you know what? It's whatever. I rather young men come in there and question and ready for a debate, ready for a conversation than young men, seeking advice from women or seeking advice from the Democrats or the left or social media. So for me, it's like whatever. I'm fine with it. So I challenge anyone who has opposing point of views to step up and come up and let's talk because I rather that's better than we're seeing what it is now. And again, a lot of young men right now are struggling. And I honestly believe it's the result of women being in power, in my opinion, for the last, couple decades now. So yeah, I'm down for, respectful opposition. So I don't
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't mind. I just on a personal level between me and you, it's hard for me because I just was, I just
Old school.
was
Old school.
Yes, I'm just was raised off a certain level of respect. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I
It's
get it.
like
I
you,
get it.
especially somebody when you know you jumping in the space of nothing but older guys. You kind of listen. You talk, but you listen also. You don't
Mhm.
just over talk and if you know right, do it. If you in that bubble, stay in that bubble. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm just used to more respect. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it ties to the willingness to actually be. I think some people we're here to actually help people. We done been through it all, seen it all. You know what I'm saying? And we actually want to help people. And to me, it's a level of humbleness that comes with actually being able to be helped. Like you said, you can't bring a water. You can bring a water. You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. That's that part why you make somebody drink.
Yeah.
It's that humbleness, that will to be like, oh, I don't know it all. You know what I'm saying? At least to really jump in and be like, you don't know it all, really.
Yeah. It's just
No.
I'll say this and then I'll head off. But yeah, I mean, it's hard. Like you said, it's hard when you're 18. And, I grew up with a dad, and my dad played dominoes, and he eventually taught me. Like, he probably don't even know how to play dominoes. That's something else. Like, like my dad showed me how to do it. And like, if I came around and I was around guys, and he would tell me, hey, go grab me beer. And like, he had his friends over and stuff like that. Like, I had to do that. My dad will curse me out in front of grown men. So I understand. I'm 37, so I got it as a kid. But for somebody who's 18, I mean, he probably doesn't even understand, because we can all make a grave assumption and say, women will sell box, and he will probably say no, women will have to be kind of coerced in that. And I'm like, dude, I can take you to a spot right outside of down the street from Georgetown University, and we gonna walk into this establishment. You take $60 in cash, walk into this establishment with me, and sit right here. There's gonna be a woman come out. She's gonna be thicker than a bowl of grits, and she's gonna shake her buns 12 inches away from your face. And you have to buy, either you have to give her money or you have to buy a drink. And I don't want to hear you tell me that this ain't possible, because I will take you there. You know what I mean? And it's like you said, DA, the RP's information is valid and it's correct information about like stuff that's actually happening. And what you do with it is up to your devices. But for people that's maybe like him, I feel like we need to show them where we got the information from. Because I can tell him girls will be skeezers or girls will be 304s, but if he doesn't believe it, he don't believe it. And I just need to say, okay, meet me here. We're gonna stand right here, and I want you to see every girl that walks up and down here. You know what I mean? And then I just want you to, physically see this with your eyes. I want you to go downtown New York in that Manhattan area. When you walk outside the back in these back alleyways and stuff like that, and you see girls, busting down and stuff like that, most of them willingly for cash and stuff like that. That's where you see, you know what I mean? He ain't been to the Bunny Ranch out in Vegas. I ain't been there either, but like he probably doesn't think these things are possible.
Well, it's the thing where it's the collective man experience. That's the thing where
Yeah.
a lot of the logic, a lot of the knowledge is coming from men as a whole, right? Us men have been through it. We've seen it, So yeah, but that's hard for a young man to understand. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I just feel like I think AJ, a lot of us, we do it a lot with the videos and things like that we show. But for some people, because I don't believe that anybody's a lost cause, I
Yeah.
believe that they just don't learn the correct way. Like some people are visual learners, some people are auditory. They need to see like it one time and then they got it forever. Some people learn differently, and then I believe these men, because I want to believe that these men can, be strong. And I know that they have to go through the weight training process to be strong. But to me, I feel like maybe there's a few men, or maybe we can grab some if we start to physically show them maybe in their like the physical self. Then I'm not going to be the one to do it. I'm not going to get 25 subscribers and say, hey, meet me here. And then we're going to go to the strip club. And then I don't want to ever hear you say women won't sell buns. I don't want to ever hear you say they won't do that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. But I feel like for some men, they physically need to taste it, touch it, hear it, smell it. And I just don't know a way to do that. But with that being said, shout out to y'all. Shout out to UDA, Bars, AJ, the guy Phoenix. Shout out to everybody in this space. Continue to push forward.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for coming by.
That's pretty much it, man.
All right, man. Thank you for coming by, man. Later, bro.
Yeah.
All right, Bars. Any last words?
Yeah, I just want to say that I pretty much agree with everything we was just talking, because I'm just big on leadership. I feel like I used to have an OG, and I feel like that art form that can't disappear all the way. You know what I'm saying? Like men have to lead men, because if
Nope. Agree.
men don't lead men, there will be nothing left. Men cannot let women destroy the civilization that we built. We can't.
I
You know what
agree.
I'm saying? That's how I feel. It
I
really,
I agree.
That's-
Omni, what's up, my brother? Any last words? Any
I
word?
didn't want to spam chat too much more, but I'm seeing culture clash here. As a young white suburbanite, half of the crap that you guys talk about is like news to me. Okay, and I'm old, but the younger guys that are in their little urban enclave of safe spaces and colleges and stuff, they don't hear about black culture and stuff as much as these channels are. So I like to just listen up and learn and take some notes, because it's rocks my world, and I know what it's like to have a buddy drag me into a strip club for the first time and go, whoa, I wasn't expecting this, and I'm not coming back here either. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I know that feeling.
Early lesson.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there because you got such a diverse group here.
No, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Thank you for all the support, my brother.
I'll see you again.
All right, later. All right, Bars. That's it for tonight, man.
Peace, man. Take it
Thank you,
easy.
brother. Thank you. Whew. Towards the end of the stream, glad that all the people came up. I didn't think that. Yes, poor man. Yes, poor man. You know, I didn't think. I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you. Sure, my brother. Sure. But you know, thank you guys for stopping by. It was interesting stream. Interesting stream. I thought tonight was going to be a chill stream, or you know, be a slow stream. Not anyone will be watching. So, thank you guys. Thank you guys for you know, adding a conversation to the stream. I love it. This is why I make Wednesdays. Right. I try my best to make Wednesdays give an opportunity you guys for to talk. Right. We could talk about whatever. We could talk about anything. So I try to make Wednesdays live stream an opportunity for you guys to just talk. You know, you guys got to talk about anything, because here's the thing where I think we don't have enough of that. Okay. For us men, for us, anyone, right? Even Red Door, if she ever wanted to join, for just to have an opportunity to just talk to each other. Right. We don't have enough of you know, a brotherhood, or, you know, a community where, you know, you freely and have a chance to just voice your opinions, right? Voice your thoughts, voice how you feel. So I love it. I love that. You know, I love that. It's awesome, right? But you guys are amazing. 3 hours. I didn't think we were going to go this long. So I love you guys. All right. That's it for tonight. Omni, man. Omni, thank you for stopping by. We had AJ, my brother. I love that man. Alan, please message me. You know, I definitely would love more conversations with you. It's always good to have someone who has an opposing view, who's open to dialogue, open to change, open to, you know, have a different of opinion. So I'm always down for that. Poor man, I love you, my brother. Big Bars, I love you. Red Door, my sister, I love you. I love you. Redneck, sorry I didn't get to shout you out. So many people are talking, you know, but love you, my brother. Anyone else? Artie, thank you for stopping by, my brother. Brett, thank you for stopping by. Buster was here early. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Tonight's stream was pretty crazy. It was pretty different, right? So I love it. All right. Love you guys. Later, guys. Have a good night.